Hello, everybody. I'm Dr. Jesse Jackson III, best-selling author and facilitator, Don't Kick 'Em Out book and training series, going over our 21 do's and don'ts of dealing with disruptive students. It's a very powerful chapter in the Don't Kick 'Em Out book. And in this last part, it's in number 21, because there's a list here, but in number 21, I said to implement the laws of classroom etiquette. And classroom etiquette essentially is how to be a student, it's how to be a scholar. It's the disciplines of being a scholar. What so many teachers fail to understand is that many of our students have not been taught the process of academia and the basics of being a scholar, as evidenced by their behavior, as evidenced by fundamental things that we do not do. So when you look at this list, I have 12, but I got a bonus 13 there, and you see that the bonus 13 is do your work. That means don't ever come to school any day and don't do your work. But these 12 fundamentals are things that we need to teach children from the start of school. Typically, these things were called home training. Well, home training over the last 60 years has been outsourced to the teacher. Home training, that's where your parents would do the process and take you through the process. That has now been outsourced to the teachers, to the educators. And so the educators are now being expected to fill this gap. And so many of our teaching faculty are assuming that a kid knows and they don't know. That's the assumption. I can remember being in Maryland, doing the training, going phenomenal, and a guy had a question. I mean, he was really challenging me, and he was like, well, you know, and then listen what he said. This was an epiphany. This is where his coworkers was like, you're not listening to the guy. He said at the end, he was like, man, this is high school. He said, well, I would assume they know that already, right? And that's what caused the problem, is because he's thinking or expecting the students to know. And that is what's creating the problem. That is the problem. He is assuming that they know. He is assuming that his students know what he expects, know how they should be doing certain things, and that is not true. One thing, let me show you. In all schools, in my student assemblies, I always ask kids not to bring weapons to school. Now think about what I just said. In my book, I have a book called The Warning Signs of a School Shooter. And one of the things that I asked the kids in my checkpoints, is I asked the children not to bring weapons to school. I asked kids not to bully. Okay. And so think about how fundamental that is, because they say, well, you never really thought to tell a kid, listen, don't bring a gun to school, and here's why. Here's why bringing weapons here is bad. Here's what the problem it caused. School safety is all of our responsibility. And kids understand that. Like, we didn't come here to get hurt. And it is all of our responsibility to keep each other safe. We're not bringing weapons to school. We're not trying to hurt each other. So we all need to know this is a safe space. We don't bring weapons to school. I was able to eliminate fighting in a school, not by telling kids, if you fight, I'll kick you out. But I had to explain to them why we don't fight at school. It completely changed the culture there, because now everybody, though I don't want to fight, now it was an unwritten rule. All right, I'll see you in the hood. We'll see you outside. Because everybody in their mind was like, hey man, not in here. Because I took time to teach them, not conflict resolution. I mean, that's one way to do it. But I was teaching them why we don't fight in school. Okay. I can't control your neighborhood. But you have to understand scholarly conduct and behavior. And if ever we have a school where anything can go, it's not an institution. See, that school is there to give us a chance to beat poverty. There's people that go to school here that need this education. And I want them to get that here. And I'm asking everybody here to help me by how you act. Those kids respond. Get 3% that they're fools. 3%. 97 get it. That's a win. So when you're teaching the etiquette, you have to teach everything you want them to know. I am a teacher. I don't impose rules without the teaching. I am a teacher. I teach fundamentals. I teach blocking and tackling. Fundamentals. Fundamentals is what helps you be successful in life. And so what are fundamentals of student etiquette, of student classroom etiquette? Come to school every day. Why do you come to school every day? Got to go to your job every day. Arrive in class on time. Why do you have to arrive on time? Got to go to your job on time. Enter the class in silence. Why do we enter the class in silence? Order allows us to start our work right away. Have your supplies. We have found, legitimately, over 50% of referrals, their start is the lack of supplies. A kid blurting out, y'all got some paper? Getting up, walking around, looking for stuff that creates a distraction that leads to another offense. We found that to be true. 50% of referrals, probably more, I know half, start because the kid doesn't have their supplies. So, the question was asked and brought to me, do we suspend kids for not having their supplies? I don't want kids suspended for not having their supplies. I want to make sure we're teaching having supplies. And here's my resolve to that. I check for supplies at the door. I don't let you get in and sit down. Show your supplies at the door. I don't want kids suspended for not having supplies. That's just illogical and doesn't make sense. But we have an abundance of kids that come to school with nothing, no supplies, they're not ready to work. So that's telling you their mindset and how they see it. And this is why I'm talking to you as a teacher. That's where there must be teaching, not judgment, not frustration, teaching. If you teach these 13 every day for 3 minutes of your class, I guarantee you, you will get your work in. You'll get your teaching in. You got to burn it in them. And I never assume you know. Have your supplies. Listen to your teacher. Follow the rules your teacher make. Raise your hand in class before blurting out. That's a referral that's coming to the office. Blurter-outers. Guys that interrupt me. You have to teach why you raise your hand. So why do you raise your hand? To be acknowledged in the class. Key, I want to hear you. Not, it's disrespectful. Don't ever use the word respect with our kids because you start a dialogue you can't finish. No. See, respect triggers emotion. We don't need emotion. I need you to think. Why do we raise our hand in our class? To get permission to speak. Because I want to hear you. So hold on. Wait, show your hand. I'm coming to you. Hold up. Let them finish. Now you go. So I can hear you. You want to be heard, and I'm going to listen to you. But hold on. You can't interrupt me. You can't interrupt another student. That's a lesson. Don't use cell phones in class. Send text messages. Why? Cell phones are rude. Having this out, pulling this out in a class, and I'm getting on you principals and you teachers as well. It is just absolutely rude. It's rude. Don't say it's a distraction, because it's not. Everybody's got a cell phone, but they don't have it out. They're not distracted. You can't say it's a distracted because there's many people that can have theirs and not be distracted. So stop saying it because it's not true. What is it? It's rude. It is rude. You are showing rude and offense when I'm talking and you sitting here. And the teacher's talking. You're being rude. Don't do it. It's rude. I got on some kids about that at an assembly of mine. You're being rude. And I'm not going to have it. And I'm going to confront you as an instructor. You're not going to be offensive to me personally because you want you in there with your cell phone. No. That means if this is not working out for you, you can go see your principal. You need to explain to somebody. But in here, we don't do that because it's rude. That rude crap, I don't like it. And I got to get on teachers, principals. You know, if you're so busy, you need to get out of my training. But don't pull your cell phone while I'm talking. It's rude. It's rude. Number 9, we don't sleep in class. No sleep in class. To let a kid put their head down is so offensive because we're all tired. What message are you sending to our class that you can take a nap? That's like your principal coming around telling you, hey, take you a 10 minute, you can put your head down at your desk. Boy, that looks really weird. It sets a really weird tone when somebody gets to take a nap. If they're that tired, it is a better situation to go see the nurse. Go see the nurse, get checked out, whatever's going on. But in here, there's no way you're taking a nap in my class. Everybody in here tired, including me. Get a nap. Disrespect to the education process. Don't touch others. Don't touch others' property. Don't disrupt others. Do your work. These are the fundamentals of classroom etiquette. And if taught every day, if signs all over the school, big signs with this etiquette, you will begin to change student behavior with knowledge, not rules. Knowledge changes behavior. Knowledge, not rules, not punishment. I'm able to rehabilitate in juvenile because I give the guys new thoughts, new ideas. Punishment will take you so far. Punishment's necessary, but if I give punishment without the knowledge, I get an angry, hostile kid. If I give you a suspension without the knowledge, see, the suspensions don't change the behavior. The knowledge changes the behavior. So I am so serious on the knowledge. In-school suspension must entail the knowledge. Suspensions must entail the knowledge. When you have a behavior problem, you must get the rehabilitation of the knowledge of why we don't do that. The why of why we don't do it. And here's what you should be doing, and here's why. That, my friends, gets us over the top and gives us an advantage in changing negative student behavior. And these are the 21 do's and don'ts of dealing with disruptive behavior. These are some of the key points I saw. As always, guys, if you know that I can help you, always reach out. I've got a lot going on in my life and my business. Our practices is booming. Our training dates are sold out. I'm so blessed and so privileged because this is really taking off. It's because we're answering the questions of the people. We are solving the issues of the people. We legitimately, we know what's going on, and we bring our teachers and our principals and our superintendents and our school boards, we're bringing them answers to hardcore issues. It's time for answers. It's time out for theory and policy. It's time to know what to do. In times of crisis, the person who knows has an advantage, and that's where it's at. You know I can help you. Always reach out. We do what we can. That's where we try to make it happen as much as we can do, but we are here for you. We do these videos for you. We appreciate your messages and the emails and the social media. We appreciate all that, and we thank you guys for that. Share these videos with your coworkers and colleagues. We put them here for you. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you soon.